I don't understand why everyone seems to think I'm American. Hi guys, what's up? My name is David and welcome back to my channel. If you've never watched any of my videos before, based on your first impression of me, what country would you say I am from? And why? Let me know down below in the comments, because some people have some strange theories which I want to talk about today. So, normally I talk about Viking related stuff on this channel, and maybe because of that, but also because of a variety of different other reasons, I've heard from multiple people that either I look American or they just immediately assume that I am American. And I want to go through some comments that people have written on my videos and unpack a little bit of why people say the things they say and what other ideological opinions might be hidden behind it. Now, a PSA, there is nothing wrong with being American. There's also nothing wrong with not being American. I will say that within some European countries, there are many stereotypes regarding the level of knowledge and education that some Americans have, meaning that the term American is associated with someone who is stupid or thinks they know everything while they definitely do not. And of course, there are some people from the United States of America who have a below average level of education, but that does not make them somehow bad people. That's a problem within the system, the educational system, the political system of the United States that results in some people not being able to access unbiased, scientifically backed education. So why do people still call me an American even though I am not? And why do they pose it as a bad thing? Well, let's get into it, shall we? This is inspired by one comment I got very recently on a short that I made from my video about the manuscript exhibition, which so little people have watched, so please go watch it because it's really fun. I talk about manuscripts, which are more fun than you might think. And I said that there is no original of the stories that are presented in these manuscripts because they have been written down from stories that already existed in an oral pre-Christian culture. And also that the manuscripts that we have now are not the first ones that have been written down. So I got this comment saying, "Brother, you can literally buy the original. Are you too old to be at stage 1, son of a single mom?" I genuinely have no idea what this person means by this. But I said, no, you cannot buy the original. And the closest you can get to one is a standardized version, which is already revised and the gaps are filled in. And then this person said, "What? You American? How you ever left the state you were born in? Question mark." Now, I'm assuming the how means have. Have you ever left the state that you were born in? And it just made me laugh because, well, I was born in Poland. I have lived in the Netherlands for 16 years, I've lived in Sweden for half a year, and now I moved to Iceland. So I am quite the opposite of a person who has never left their home state or home country. And this comment reminded me of the fact that I've gotten multiple like this. And as you can see from this one, it's clearly just used by someone who has nothing else to say anymore. It's like, oh, you disagree with me? Well, you stupid American. But there are some more ideologically loaded ones, such as this one, which I've already mentioned in a previous video. "Don't try to explain your modernist American morality onto the ancients who would laugh you out of any room for looking like you do. Choosing to present yourself to the world like this, any pagan ancestors you might have had would be ashamed." Now, this one does not 100% imply that I am American, but that I am subscribed to modernist American morality, which is a trope that will come back in the other comments. It's not necessarily being American, but being like an American, being influenced by American or Western ideology. And with that, they mean anything related to queer identities and such like, which queer people did not just suddenly spawn in America. They have existed in other cultures on other continents, and it's really diminishing to non-American queer identity to just say that, oh, whatever you personally believe, whatever identity you have, That's just influenced by those people. You have no agency over your own identity, which is just untrue. But here we got a first glimpse of why someone would say that I am American based on how I look like. And again, this is stereotyping based on me looking visibly queer, at least to those people. I would agree. I do think that I look slightly alternative, and I have piercings, body modifications, tattoos, and I'm not trying to not look queer. This is just how I happen to look like. This is just how I like to present myself. And that is something that people associate with the United States, which we also see in this particular section that I want to focus on, because that was really the first time that I was like, why are people saying this? So I posted a short where I was wearing a shirt with the Eyjashjálmur, which is a early modern Icelandic symbol from, I think, the 17th century. And I was saying how this is not a Viking symbol, but that doesn't make it any less cool or any less part of Icelandic identity and Nordic culture. And this person says, everything about this video is American. Somehow 2016 to 2020 American specifically. Now, everyone is entitled to their opinions, but I still ask why they think this, because I am not American and I've never been to the United States. And their answer was, you don't need to set foot into a country to choose to immerse yourself in their culture and adopt it fully. Everything about this video, your profile, how you talk, how you style yourself, your bio, all very 2016 to 2021 American. Here we got some more hints as to why exactly this person thinks I look American. So I do agree that you don't need to actually go to a country to pick something up from the culture of that country. And I'm not saying that I'm not aware of anything going on in the United States culturally. Of course, it's a big country and a lot of mass culture and mass media is exported from the United States. But not to be the edgy, I'm not like other girls person, but I have never been interested in popular culture and like mass media. I don't really listen to any big artists. I don't really watch like these big and popular films. I don't follow any big celebrities. So I don't pick this culture up. I hear about it, but it's not something that I would personally want to subscribe to. I'm not a huge fan of this late stage capitalism that is going on. But yeah, apparently everything about that video, how I talk, well, I understand that I don't have a particularly European English accent. I learned English in Poland and in the Netherlands, and most of my teachers were British speaking, but still had Dutch as their native language. And I've heard that many Dutch people end up sounding American because that's somehow more similar to the sounds that Dutch naturally makes. I don't know if this is true, it's just something that I've heard. And this is just the English that feels best for me. I'm not actively trying to sound American. I'm not actively trying to sound any other language either. Apparently how I style myself is also very American, which I find strange because I don't really have one style, honestly. I just wear whatever I want. Like currently I'm wearing an Icelandic metal band shirt. I'm wearing a green button up, and I'm wearing brown corduroy pants. So I'm just wearing my favorite colors and a shirt from a band that I listen to. Like, I don't think that's inherently American. And then I answered this comment that I was talking about before. I said, believe whatever you want to believe, because I don't want to continue this anymore. And then they said, that's very true. I believe what my eyes and ears show me. Observe how you adore and style yourself with symbols you chose to use. Where did they actually come from? Now, I will remind you, this was a video where I was wearing a shirt containing the Eyjashjálmur, again, an early modern Icelandic symbol. So I said this to this person, and they still are like, where do they actually come from? They come from an Icelandic manuscript. As far as I know, Iceland is not America. Culturally and geographically, Iceland is Europe. So I'm not. And these symbols are also not American. Just because they have been appropriated by Americans who claim this as their own heritage and their own symbols does not make me an American. And then I want to finish this video off by two more comments. One which was in Czech, I believe. So this is the translated version that I have clicked translate on, and it says, "This crude ideology comes from the West. Scandinavia is the North. Go to America and stop contributing to the corruption of Europe. I hope one day you will appreciate Europe and its beautiful culture instead of trying to destroy it." First of all, as I've said before, I've lived in 4 European countries now. I am literally studying Viking and medieval Norse studies, and I have studied Scandinavian studies before. I've always been interested in different parts of European culture, as it is all highly interrelated. And again, I was born in Europe. When I was born in 2005, Poland just entered the European Union. So by every single definition, I was born in Europe. And this was as a response to me saying that Scandinavia also belongs to the West. And they said, no, it's the North. Well, yes, of course, Scandinavia is geographically Northern Europe. It is often counted to the West, as in American and European culture together. But apparently this person thinks the West is only the United States. It's so funny that they just tell me to go to America. Like, honestly, I don't want to. I really do not want to go to the United States right now. I might consider Canada, and I might consider South American countries like Brazil, Argentina, Peru maybe. But first, I don't have the money for that. And second, now hearing the political situation in the United States, especially regarding trans people and other queer individuals, I would not want to visit there. So no, I don't think I'm contributing to the corruption of Europe, and I think that is a highly problematic sentiment that also shows current fears from people who want to save Europe, and that's usually associated with far-right movements who are also against migration from non-European countries and, well, the spread of Western ideology like critical race theory or queer identities or anything like that. So I just don't take these comments too seriously, but they do often have a hint of problematic discriminatory undertones. Now, I want to finish with one that does count me as a European. So the first comment is, "Europeans annoy me so much. They don't understand America at all. They know nothing about geography, especially American geography, and they make up bullshit like this." Now, this was on a video where I was talking about my experiences as a trans man who never really got to socialize as a woman. And I guess this is what they're referring to, like the makeup bullshit. But there was another person who said this was a joke, and they were joking about how the Netherlands is a made-up country. So I cannot say too much about this comment, but it's fun that I don't only get criticized for being too American, I also get criticized for being too European. So yay, a win is a win, I guess. And then the person who responded to this was like, yeah, most of all, we don't understand why you make things that have nothing to do with America about yourself. No one's been talking about America. And now I agree with this so much, because many, if not all of these comments that I've shown you in this video were on videos where I did not even mention America. I barely mention America, to be honest, because I do not come from there. I'm not that aware of what's going on there, just because that's not my life. Of course, I'm invested in general political trends going on, and, you know, the politics in the United States generally are very influential on the politics elsewhere. So of course I have to keep myself updated on that. But I am not from the United States. I have never been in the United States. So this channel is just not focused on the United States. And there are many others that are. And if you are interested in, for example, Viking related stuff going on in the United States, like neo-paganism in the States, then go watch those videos and stop commenting this on mine. So yeah, that's everything I had to share for today. Again, if you guys have any more ideas as to why these people keep thinking that I'm from the United States, or again, if you want to share what I give off, what nationality you would think I am, if you didn't know where I actually come from, because I have no idea, like how I look like, how I sound like, it's all very vague to me. Like, I am ethnically 70% Slavic, but I don't think I look very stereotypically Slavic either. So, I don't know. Thank you for watching, and see you next week. Bye bye.